Okay, in this video I'm gonna show for a moment on how you can organize your red work and the fills together. Somebody had sent me a design and wanted me to look at it, and it was stitching out the fill objects first, and then afterwards, later on in the process, there was an outline done with it, and the outline was done completely separate from the fills. So instead of having the tie-ins and the tie-outs on the fills, you can incorporate your fills with the red work. And so everything what is here on the screen, I just created a few random leaves and I made a bunch of connections or some running stitches. And let me first go and delete or turn off the visibility on that for a moment so that we can focus here strictly on the design. And I'm going to show you that these fill objects, as you can see here, they are in the bottom, on the bottom of my my layer, so they are being stitched right now first. But since everything is gonna be in the end is gonna be all one color, I want to incorporate these fills inside with the red work. So, and all these red works what I got here on the screen, I'm just clicking here on a few so you can see that they are all separate little line segments, and there too the amount of nodes we don't have to worry about. And as you can see, they're all separate little paths, and that is all one. Nothing is coming back on itself again. I can move here a node and you can see there's nothing underneath. So I'll undo that so that everything, and what I did is create these lines. I used the snapping tool so that the node of each object is connected to another line object. So for that matter, I'm gonna show, and we're gonna make them all the same color for a moment. So I'm gonna select all my fill objects and I'm gonna go and give them all the same color than what the strokes are. So now we do not see the distinction between the strokes and the fills, but for applying the red work, all we need to do is we can select everything here, and then we can go extension, ink stitch, tool stroke, and we can go select the red work. Then these settings, I'm not gonna go over them. I leave them at a default, and I will go and hit apply. And now the red work has been applied, and you will see that the red work that is now all in a group, and these are all the line objects. As you can see, I'm clicking here on a fill object, so I'm clicking on the center, and I'm still see these paths here on the bottom, and they are still in that same area. So the red work did not incorporate anything of our fill objects. So now we have to go and incorporate them. So, and the easiest way what I find to do that is that I'm giving my fills a different color. So I'm gonna shift select all my fills again here for a moment, and I'm gonna go and give them a different fill color, and now I can see easier on where the lines are and which lines are gonna be selected in a bit. So then I will go to my node select tool, and now I will go to my redwork group, and I will start from the bottom and see what is happening. And I can see here in the top, that's where it is starting. So my first one, that is here, the underpath. So I want to have this fill object shown before it would start this outline. So I'm selecting that path, and I will go and drag that. Oh, I want to have it inside the group of the redwork, and then I will go here to that fill object, and I'll zoom in a little bit closer, and I want to select a line segment, and I see here that is redwork number 73, and then I'll see which way is it traveling, and it is not traveling higher. So I want to have this one, so, and that is here number 16, and the underpath is probably 15 here. Yeah, that is the same one. So I would want to have that fill object shown before the number 15. So make note of the number, and then we can go and select here the fill object, and we drag it, and we put that in the place where we want it. And just to make sure that it's in the right order, and there we have it. And then we'll go to the next one. So I got here a redwork that is 33, and there is 25 and 24, 24. So 23 is before the fill object, and 24, then we're getting the fill object, or that the outline around the fill object. So then what we're gonna do is we want to have the fill object right after redwork underpath number 23. So we select the fill object, and we drag it under 23, and then we just go and double check here for a moment, and I think I should have had it one higher. Yeah, I gotta go and bring it up one more. So there, 23, that is the last one. Then we get the fill object, and then we get the redwork. So then we move on to the next one. There we see redwork 61, so that is all the way going around the fill object, and the underpath also is all the way around the fill object, and 59 is before the fill object. So we want to have this fill object above 59. So then we just grab it, and then we go to 59. and may have to go one more up. Yeah, 59. Yeah, I need to go one more up. So always double check yourself that you put it in the right order, because it is quite often, or write down the number and that you have to be above it or below it. But this should be in the right place now, and just double checking, and that should be good. And then we do the next one. So that is 57, and that is 53. So let's check what 52 is. That is also around the fill. So we want to have the one before. So now we want to place the fill object above 51. So select the fill object and drag it. It is a little bit time consuming, and just making sure that it's being placed in the right order. There is also, you can set a start point and a stop point, and that is on the first one. So we did that one already, so we should have everything in place now. Now we can go and select all those objects and shift select the fill objects, and now we give them the same color than our stroke objects. So now we give that a fill, and now we can go and select everything, and we can go to the Inkstage visualize to the simulator. There is one little mistake yet. There is a jump here, so I gotta find out why it is the first fill object that is in the wrong place. So there has to be an adjustment made yet, and we have to figure out for a moment what the issue is. Okay, that is path number 3, and that, okay, that is number 51. So let's go to the node select again. I find that works easier, that is more visible. So 50 is for around that leaf, and 51, 50, 49, so 49. Okay, it's got to be 49. Okay, so we have to bring it above 48. Oh, I'm in the wrong corner here. So we grab that path, and I think it was 49. So we just double check here. No, 49, 48. So I gotta go bring it down one. Oh, gotta bring that one up again. I did the wrong, selected the wrong one, and that's gotta go one down. So redwork 48, then path number 3, that is the fill object, and then we get the redwork for going around the leaf. So now we should have that everything will sew out continuous. I'll make it more like a Okay, now in order to change the colors properly, you want to make sure that edit select same, that you go select stroke color, and we can make them all dark green. And now we change the fills also to a dark green. And now we select everything and we go extension, ink stitch, visualize, and we go to the simulator here. And now, oh, you see there still is a red leaf underneath there, and that shouldn't be. There is a minor oops on my part. And that one okay, now I don't know exactly what, because that one is it says a redwork. Oh, it has a fill and a stroke. Well, that shouldn't be. Okay, I know what happened. This is supposed to have not a fill. So like with selecting the objects, as you can see, we have to be really careful on that the proper things are all selected, because otherwise we are gonna run into issues like what I'm having right now, because the fill objects, I had one of the strokes accidentally selected and not one of the fills. So that is why things were showing up that I still had a jump and that it was a different color. So with your selections, you have to be really careful on how you are selecting your objects when changing colors. So now I can go back to the ink stitch, visualize and export, go to the simulator, and now we can see that everything is stitching out, and you can see here on the bottom bar everything is there are no trims and no jumps. I mean, I can click this button and it doesn't show any trims and jumps. So, and that is the thing with the fill objects. The way Inkstitch is working in the newer version, it automatically creates the fill start point and the fill end point where your next object is starting or where your next object is finishing. And let me change that one a little bit. See, that way you can see the stitch points a little better, and you can drag the slider and you can see where things would start and where things finish. For on the video it is really hard to see, but by changing the the stroke width, then it is a little bit easier to see your stitch movement, and it will depend on the size of the design too. So you could just go here to the settings, and you can change here the line width to whatever suits you best, and even from design to design, and depending on what densities you have, you can change these settings so that you can that everything is more visible. And that's also the needle penetrations, so that are each of these points. If you want them really visible or very small, you can zoom in by using the scroll wheel, and I think you can. I thought it was that you could drag it also, but that doesn't seem to want to work now. I thought it was. No, it doesn't want to drag. So anyway, this way you can zoom in into a certain spot, and if you want to zoom in into a different location, you can scroll out and you can zoom in on that area if you so desire. So play with it and have fun. And I hope this video that you learned something again on how you can place your fill objects in between the redwork and still everything will sew out continuous. So I hope this helps you, and have fun, and we'll see you soon again. Okay, bye for now, and thanks for watching.